Seems like every day you turn on the news, more and more crazy shit.
Across the world, in dozens of countries, protesters have taken to the streets.
The only troops I have are taking the oil. They're protecting the oil.
You think it has anything to do with the huge amounts of lobbying from the fossil fuel industry?
First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story.
Hello, my name is Evan Stolman, and this is the first episode of Our World This Week. In this weekly news series, we will be dissecting and discussing the most important stories from around the globe. In this episode of Our World This Week, we will be exploring the recent epidemic and outbreak of the novel coronavirus that has brought mainland China to the brink of chaos. News broke on December 31st, 2019 when Chinese authorities alerted the World Health Organization of a mysterious disease causing viral pneumonia in the megacity of Wuhan, located in the Hubei province.
I'm declaring a public health emergency of international concern over the global outbreak of novel coronavirus.
During initial investigations by the World Health Organization and Communist Party officials, the virus was found to be zoonotic, meaning the virus has capabilities of human and animal transmission. This finding was shown to be similar to previous outbreaks of influenzas and viruses the world has seen before. Reaction to the newfound information led Chinese officials to shut down a large wild game market in the center of Wuhan on January 1st for the extensive sanitation and testing. In terms of where this virus originated from, the open-air wild game market in China was a plausible epicenter for a zoonotic virus due to the extreme lack of regulation and health standards practiced in these markets. This situation will also reflect a recent memory of the 2003 outbreak of SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome. SARS was reported to have originated in bats who were consumed by wild civet cats and in turn sold as a delicacy in similar wild game markets. On January 3rd, China reports 44 suspected cases of patients who are showing symptoms of the newfound coronavirus. January 7th, Chinese officials confirm possible symptoms of the virus can have varying impacts on human health, from cold symptoms to severe fatal diseases. 2 days later, China announced its first official death of the new novel coronavirus. January 12th, China shares a genetic sequence globally in hopes of help from the international community to find a cure for the disease as time ticks and the virus continues to spread throughout Wuhan. As the days move forward, little information was coming from China and the World Health Organization about the severity of the virus.
We must act now to help countries prepare.
Many media outlets determined it was nothing more than a common flu.
Which one is more dangerous at this point, based on what we know? The flu or coronavirus?
The flu, for sure.
Until January 16th, when China announced there were 45 confirmed cases in mainland China, as well as 1 case in Japan and 1 in Thailand. On February 10th, just 24 days after the initial confirmation of infections, we now have over 50,000 people with confirmed cases of the virus and over 1,000 deaths globally, affecting over 25 countries with no slowdown in sight. China is a beautiful country. However, the Chinese Communist Party does not particularly have a reputation for transparency and honesty among the global community.
You know, look, President Xi sat in the Rose Garden with President Obama and told us that he wasn't militarizing the South China Sea, that was never going to happen. And at the same time, he was militarizing the South China Sea. He lied to us.
My name is Richard Bilton. I'm a reporter for BBC Panorama. I wrote to you this week, sir, actually, about the camps in Xinjiang. I know that they are prison camps. Why won't you tell me the truth about those camps?
First of all, I would say there's no so-called labor camps, as you described. There's what we call vocational education and training centers. They are there for the prevention of a terrorist.
This has caused many around the world to put into question the legitimacy of the official infection numbers shown by China. China was accused of attempting to censor and cover up the outbreak of SARS, which many thought to be a reason for its global impact, and many believe the same is going on with the new coronavirus as well. Due to the possibility of inconsistencies with the potential damage this virus can cause, many have taken the liberty using statistic models for the spread of viruses to add more context to what could actually be happening in the epicenters of the viral outbreak. An article released by peer-reviewed medical journal The Lancet claimed viral statistical models estimated that the actual number of infections in China were roughly 75,000 cases, with a confidence interval of 95% between 37,000 and 130,000. On the same day, China stated that there were just under 2,000 confirmed cases. The difference in the data is stark. The misrepresentation of data concerning the seriousness of the virus can have deadly consequences and puts the world at risk for the possibility of a global pandemic. Less information means less action is taken on the containment of the outbreak, leading to greater chances of continued exponential growth.
So when CDC make assessment of the epidemic, does it take into consideration that the official number from the Chinese CDC might still be very severely underestimated?
China and the World Health Organization advising the international community we are not at risk and they have it under control. However, that seems to be in contradiction of the extreme measures China has taken upon its own population to control the spread of the virus.
This declaration is not a vote of no confidence in China. On the contrary, WHO continues to have confidence in China's capacity to control the outbreak.
The timing of the outbreak is unfortunate. Between the dates of January 10th and February 18th, the largest human migration on the planet happens within the borders of China. The Chinese celebrate the Lunar New Year, resulting in an estimated 3 billion trips on cars, planes, and ships from those who travel between cities to celebrate and visit family for the holiday. However, celebrations were cut short.
Every driver and passenger that passes in and out of Hubei province here is tested. Anyone found with a high temperature is told to go to a hospital immediately.
China officially locked down all human traffic of 13 major cities, affecting upwards of 50 million people, resulting in the largest quarantine in modern history. Many countries around the world have also canceled the majority of flights in and out of the epicenter, and large portions of mainland China, including Canada and the US. Other countries have set up temperature checks, checking for those arriving from China to ensure they do not have the symptoms of the virus. Despite attempts of censoring information, many videos have emerged of a dark dystopian scene in the Hubei province. These include videos of excavators piling dirt and concrete on roads connecting cities to deter citizens from leaving quarantine zones. Doors to apartment buildings being welded shut with infected victims quarantined inside. China is also attempting to rapidly construct hospitals for the thousands of extra beds needed for new and serious cases of the virus. The city of Wuhan is desolate during the day and filled with the chants of its people during the night. From their balconies, they cry out condolence for one another. Unverified reports from individuals within Wuhan say they cannot get treatment at clinics due to capacity and have said they would rather die at home than be taken to a quarantine facility run by the government. However, many don't have a choice. The CCP is now forcing those who show symptoms into makeshift facilities with minimal medical treatment due to the lack of infrastructure necessary to combat the amount of infections they are facing. Those brave enough to share true accounts what it's like to be in the epicenter will likely face grave consequences for exposing truth against the Chinese Communist Party. Many doctors have risked their lives not only saving those who are ill, but also shining a light on the severity of the situation. One of the first doctors to alert the world has unfortunately succumbed to the virus at age 39. Another video taken with a hidden camera showed the scenes of only one hospital in Wuhan with 8 body bags ready to be sent to the crematory. The doctor who filmed this video went missing a few days later. As the CCP attempts to censor, punish, and imprison their own population, the world is beginning to wonder, what is China hiding?